Hey YouTube, Donnie Smith here, and in this video we're going to talk about some sanding blocks by MotorGuard. There's some new sanding blocks, and I think you're going to find these interesting. So I've done some videos on block sanding, proper block sanding techniques, but I wanted to mention these new sanding blocks. They're by MotorGuard, and they've came out with some new blocks, and I think you'll be impressed with them. If you like these style blocks, but you use like the hook-it paper, the Velcro that sticks to it, well, now they have these in Velcro. If you remember the other style blocks, it uses stick-it paper. That's basically just a paper that has adhesive. It sticks with adhesive. Works well. You just peel that off, and this has adhesive on it, and it just sticks to the block. Works real good. You can do your blocking. The only problem with this is you can take this off and maybe reuse it, but after this becomes a little bit dirty, or if you lay this up on a shelf, I'm going to use it later, probably another piece of sandpaper got stuck to it, or dirt's going to stick to it because it's sticky. And by the time, especially in a body shop, there's a lot of dust in a body shop, you got to reuse and it won't stick. So if you just had to use a piece of 80 grit for a short time, and then you need to use something else on that, basically, a lot of times that's the only time you're going to be able to use that piece of sandpaper. But the newer blocks that MotorGuard came out with has the Velcro part back here so that this can stick to it. So now if you got a piece, you put it up, you go to reuse it, you put it on there and it's going to stick. And it, dirt's not going to affect it like it would stick-it paper. And you just peel it off, put it back on the shelf. Using this style of block, you can really use your sandpaper a lot more. Now the hook type paper, it's going to cost a little bit more, but you really get a lot of use out of it than you do the adhesive paper, the stick-it paper. Another thing I like about these MotorGuard blocks is they come in different sizes, different lengths. They got, they got short ones and they got long ones, in the stick-it or in the hook-it, whatever you prefer. And they also have different stiffnesses. For example, this one, it's real stiff. It doesn't give too much. And that's good for a nice big flat surface, that you want to level. So if you got something that needs a little bit of crown, needs a little bit of curve, they have these. It has this middle piece sandwiched in here, and that helps make it just a little bit flexible. And also in their sanding block kits, they have these, and then they have the super flexible. Now this one has the flexible outside with the stiffer part sandwiched in the middle right here, and this allows it to flex even more. And this will be good for going around a curve or something like that. This is going to work really good for that. But MotorGuard makes a good assortment of sanding blocks. I've used them a lot. I'm impressed with them. And now especially that they have the hook-it. I prefer this hook-it style paper just because, you can take it off and reuse it. But really, depending on your preference, one's not better than the other. They're both going to do a good job. If you just got one job to do, you probably don't worry about saving a lot of the paper for later use. Probably stick-it's going to be fine. If you're doing a lot of this work, I would probably recommend using a hook-it like this. So I just kind of wanted to mention these blocks because in one of the videos, someone asked me, what are those blocks? They did, and I forget a lot of times the DIY, they don't know what a lot of this stuff is. Where do you get it? And things like that. So I want to do this video. So these are by MotorGuard. I would recommend checking into these. I'll put their website down below. Now, I don't think you can buy straight from their website, but you can get them on Amazon or probably any of your paint suppliers will have MotorGuard. But I'll put some links down in the description so you can learn more about these. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Just wanted to tell you about something new. They're not real new, but they haven't been out that long. MotorGuard hasn't had those out that long. Pretty exciting because you got these style blocks versus those real hard ones, like those plastic blocks. If it's good flat surface, those work fine, but most of the time on cars, let's face it, you're usually working with some type of curve, and those just don't work too good. So that's why I like these, and I'm excited they now have the backing that I can use the hook-it paper on. And MotorGuard also has a couple new products I'll be telling you about in other videos. Well, I hope you found this video useful. I hope you liked it. If you did, be sure and give us a thumbs up, give us a like, share this with your friends, subscribe to us if you haven't, and remember, if something's worth doing, do your best and have a blast doing it. Thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you in the next video. Oh
She comes as bright as snow with rings of fear that spell the town. Old Jenny Murphy says she'll